overspray on your car? Well, I'm here to answer 3 questions for you. What is paint overspray? How do you tell that you have paint overspray? And how do you remove paint overspray? Let's get started. What is paint overspray? Well, the simple answer is this. Somewhere out in the world, someone is painting with a type of aerosol can, an airless spray gun. It's a mist of paint that settles onto your car. That's the simple answer. But more importantly, how do you tell if it's paint overspray versus something else? There's 3 simple answers for that. You can either see it, you can hear it, or you can feel it. And in many ways, there's all in the same. But because not all paint overspray is created equal, not all cars are created equally, meaning the color of your car, the material in which you have the overspray on, which I'll just tell you this, if you have it on anywhere of your car, you're gonna pretty much have it everywhere on your car. How about that? And if you start dissecting your car, you'll realize it's made up of many types of material. Paint, glass, chrome, vinyl, rubber, go down the list. With that, let's get started and I'm gonna show you how you can deal with it. What exactly do I mean when I say you can see it, hear it, and feel it? Okay, I have a white car. Let's say, for example, that I have light colored paint overspray on this white car, which I do, which is a big fat bummer for me. So I can't really see it because it essentially matches the color of my paint. But what if it's on the glass? Then I can see it. You know why? Because I'm looking through specifically the front windshield of my glass. Paint, you can't look through it. You can only look onto it. Glass, you can see both through it on the outside in or on the inside out. Okay, party people, here we have the front windshield of my car. This entire car was coated with paint overspray. You know why? Because it's floating in the air and it literally will attach to every part of your surface, including your front windshield. Here I have my front windshield. Why do I have this line? And I'm pretty sure it's going to show up. See this line that comes down the windshield? Why is that there? Well, because the wiper blades, as they move back and forth, they have actually worn off the paint overspray. But all along here, I have overspray. So if I'm sitting inside my car, I will be able to see it. So this is one of the ways you can see it. But glass is unique because I can see through the glass. You should understand now the nuances of seeing paint overspray versus now what I'll go into is hearing it or feeling it. Let me show you what I mean. As I have said in other videos, paint should be seen, it should not be heard. What do you mean by that, Darren? Well, right here, and I'm gonna dip down next to my microphone. Hear that? You hear very little, correct? But wait for it. Hear that? That's what I mean. Paint should be seen, not heard. Now that I hear something, I don't see it because it's light colored overspray on white paint. I cannot see it. I can only feel it and I can hear it. It feels like a texture. It feels, in essence, like little tiny specks, which they are, called paint, are stuck to my car paint. Washing and waxing and even polishing are no guarantee that you're going to be able to remove it. Once again, not all paint overspray is created equally. Who knows what kind of paint you have on your car? We then segue into, okay, Darren, how do I remove it off of my car? Because I know I don't want it there. Because what you need to accept is that if you have any type of unwanted surface contaminants on your paint, when you wax it or polish it, now polishing is a big can of worms because many people will have many interpretations about what a polish is. Is it a polish? Is it a compound? Does it have abrasives, chemical cleaners? What is it? So let's just keep it simple. If you're gonna wax your car, you have to accept that you're gonna be waxing over the contaminants or the overspray, and that wax that's intended for your paint is not gonna actually reach your paint. It's only gonna reach parts of your paint, but you're gonna be literally waxing over overspray. I'm pretty certain in your world, you don't want that. So how do we remove it? The simplest answer is what's called detailing clay, the clay bar, decontamination bar. You can call it many things. Here, the one by Shine Master or Max Shine, depends on who you want to ask. So Max Shine, and clay bars are endless. You really don't need to overthink it. Now I have a preference. But that's for another video for another time. So for example, Shine Master is what this is labeled as. It's put up out by Mac Shine. It is a purple bar, comes in a container like this. Actually comes with 2 of them. Here's the other one. But lo and behold, I have a yellow one. It doesn't really matter. Point is this will be your first line of defense. And let me explain. I promise that pretty much everyone watching this video does not just have paint overspray on your car, if in fact you think that's what you have. Eventually, every one of you is going to need detailing clay or the clay bar in order to decontaminate what's called bonded surface contaminants, meaning pollutants, pollution that's floating around in the air endlessly. You know, all that dust that settles onto your car that you have to wash off every week? You are washing your car every week, are you not? Well, there's certain particles in that dust and dirt that are not going to be removed in the simple process of washing, waxing, and even polishing your car. There's certain particles of that dirt that will become bonded to your paint. Never mind overspray that will stick to your paint dry and now it won't come off. So that's why I say this is your first line of defense, is that A, you're eventually going to need it no matter what. So unless your paint feels like waxed glass, you cannot hear it, it feels slick as slick can be, then chances are you've got some bonded contaminants. Therefore, you're going to need some detailing clay, even if you don't have paint overspray on it. But the good news is that in most cases, this will remove the paint overspray while simultaneously removing those bonded contaminants. Therefore, this is why this is my first line of defense. Now, regardless of the version that you reach for, purchase, whatever, you're going to need some type of lubricant in order to use it. Why? Well, because these things are naturally tacky. They're not going to slide back and forth without some form of a lubricant. They're very tacky, which is another word for sticky. Now, your lubricant that you choose can be as simple as basic water. What do I use? I use the Q7 Detailer. Why do I use that specifically? Well, because I already have it and I'm already using it for many other purposes of my car. I love versatility. This represents versatility. So I can also use it as a clay lube. How do you do it? You spray the surface so that now you have some form of lubrication. Therefore, it will slide back and forth. Now, I'm going to pull in with my mic. See how it gets really noisy over here? And then I keep rubbing. Sometimes you just got to keep rubbing. And that's part of the point, is that not all paint overspray is created equal. Not all bonded contaminants are created equal. Therefore, you never know how much rubbing you're going to have to do. But you rub until the friction is, well, gone. So at first, it's going to be very hard to rub. You're going to hear some disturbing noises. You're going to have some resistance with the clay bar. So you keep rubbing until your paint is silky smooth. How do you know that? Well, you check. Take my microfiber cloth, compliments of Ian over at Autofiber. Why? Because they make a terrific microfiber cloth. Now I can feel it right here. So for example, hear that? You're right, you don't hear anything. Hear that? See the difference? Over here, overspray. Over here, no overspray. Wanted, unwanted. So you just dissect it panel by panel until your car's done. Well, the goal was to answer those 3 basic questions. Hopefully, I've accomplished that. Now, if you want more greater understanding, you're going to have to tune into the other parts of this video, because what I've learned when it comes to detailing is that these what would appear simplistic topics easily transform or grow into much greater topics of complexity. So if you want greater understanding and comprehension, you're going to have to tune into those other videos. Because I promised, and this is me speaking from experience, for every question you throw at me and every answer I throw back at you, it's going to only beget a sequence of additional questions. Oh, Darren, I just used a clay bar on my black car. Now it looks abraded. Oh, Darren, how do I get it off of glass? What are the safe ways to get it off of glass? Oh, Darren, I see that it's also on my vinyl trim. How do I get off of that? See, now I've just added complexity to what appeared as a very simple problem. The intention of this video is to give you a very simplified approach that will work for a lot of you. With that said, by all means, leave me your comments below. Give it a thumbs up if you learned something. I would like to know specifically what you did learn, or maybe you could clarify what your understanding was of paint overspray and how to remove it. Tune into the next video for a more detailed perspective.